Launching a new product, when it works, it can totally change the future of a company. But let's be real, for every huge success story, there are just countless products that completely miss the mark. The stakes are incredibly high, and winning takes a lot more than just a great idea. You need a great playbook. So that really brings us to the big question, right? The one that keeps product managers, engineers, marketers, pretty much everyone up at night. Why is it that so many new products, even the ones with tons of potential, just fail to hit their goals? What is going wrong between that initial spark of an idea and the reality of the marketplace? And the scale of this problem is, well, it's kind of staggering. The research shows that a whopping 44% of all development projects fail to meet their own sales targets. I mean, just think about that for a second. Nearly half the time, all that money, all the investment, the late nights, the hard work, it just doesn't pay off like it was supposed to. Okay, so let's get into it. Without some kind of system, new product development is often just, well, it's pure chaos. You've got projects getting bogged down by missed steps, bad execution, and data you can't really trust. Teams need a playbook, a map that's based on what winning teams actually do to tame all that chaos and deliver results time and time again. And that playbook, it has a name: StageGate. The best way to think about it is as a blueprint for managing that whole journey, all the way from a raw idea to a full-blown launch. It's kind of like how a football team has a set of plays to win the game. StageGate gives you the plays for winning at new products. It's a proven system, too, used by some of the most successful companies on the planet. So what is it really? Well, at its core, the whole StageGate process is built on two really simple but powerful parts. First, you've got the stages. That's when your teams are in action, gathering information. And second, you have the gates. These are the super important decision points where you decide if a project is worth continuing to invest in. Let's look at the stages first. Think of these as the actual plays in your playbook. Every single stage is designed to gather more info and reduce uncertainty and risk. And this is not a relay race where one department just hands something off to the next. No, the work happens in parallel. With a cross-functional team, you've got R&D, marketing, operations, all on the field playing together. And yeah, cost goes up with each stage, but so does your confidence in the project. And after each of those plays, the team huddles up. These are the gates. They're basically quality control checkpoints where the team presents what they've found. The project gets judged against a really clear set of criteria, and then a critical decision is made: go or kill. And a go decision isn't just a pat on the back. It's a serious commitment of the people and the money needed for that next big stage. Now, this all sounds pretty great in theory, doesn't it? But here's where things can go horribly wrong. The single biggest reason innovation processes fail is when the gates, those super critical decision points, have no real teeth. This quote I heard from a senior manager, it just says it all. In way too many companies, gates just become project reviews instead of what they're supposed to be: hard decision points. Bad projects don't get killed, they just get wounded, and they're left to limp along, sucking up precious resources that really should be going to your potential winners. And this idea just illustrates the difference perfectly. A healthy stage gate process works like a funnel. You pour lots of ideas in the top, but the gates are tough. They filter out the weak ones, so you can focus your resources on the projects with the most promise. But when your gates have no teeth, your process becomes a tunnel. Everything that goes in one end just comes out the other, no matter how good or bad it is, and your resources get spread dangerously thin. So, how do we fix this? Well, the answer is in what people are calling the next generation of StageGate. The smartest companies have evolved the process from being this rigid rulebook into a flexible, intelligent system that's actually designed for the speed and uncertainty of today's business world. This next-gen process is really built on three core ideas. It's scalable, so it can fit the risk level of the project. It's adaptable, so it allows for change as you learn more. And it's efficient, making the decision-making part of it way, way smarter. Let's break down what each of these really means. First up, scalability. It's simple, right? One size does not fit all. You shouldn't need a huge 5-stage process just for a simple product tweak. These next-gen systems have different paths. You might have a full process for huge, high-risk project, but then an express or a light version for lower-risk stuff, and that can dramatically speed up development time. Next, it's got to be adaptable. The old way of thinking, that you have to perfectly lock in a product definition on day one, that just doesn't work in today's world. Modern StageGate uses something called spiral development. It just means you build quick prototypes. You get them in front of real customers early and often. You gather their feedback and you revise. It's a series of fast little loops that make sure you're actually building what the customer wants.
And finally, let's talk about being efficient, which is really all about making better, fact-based decisions. So instead of relying on gut feelings or, whoever shouts the loudest in the room, the decision makers, the gatekeepers, use scorecards. They rate each project against objective things like strategic fit, product advantage, and financial reward. This forces a much more rational debate. It cuts through the politics, and at the end of the day, it leads to way smarter, faster investment decisions.
So this brings us to a really fundamental question, one that you should be asking about your own organization's process. Is it designed to be a set of handcuffs that holds people back, or is it a tool that actually helps people navigate the super difficult terrain of innovation? So here's the bottom line. StageGate should never be a rigid rulebook that just stifles creativity. The modern next-generation version is a flexible map. It suggests the best path forward based on what we know works, but it also empowers the team to take smart detours when the situation calls for it. It's a system that enables people, it doesn't constrain them. Which leaves us with one final thought. Take a really hard look at how your company brings new ideas to life. Is your process a funnel that's thoughtfully focusing resources on the absolute best opportunities? Or has it become a tunnel, where pretty much every project that enters is guaranteed to come out the other end, whether it's ready or not? The answer to that question could be the key to winning your innovation game.